What's cracking, everyone? This is Solomon SK for Whiskey and RPGs, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. And yeah, we got a lot of news to cover, so I hope you guys got your glasses ready with your beverage of choice, and let's hang out and cover the news together. Cheers, everyone. So the first bit of news comes from MassivelyOpie.com, and it's about Diablo IV. Now, I know this game really hasn't been on the news all that much lately since its announcement from BlizzCon last year, but that might soon change. So, Diablo IV team dishes out on inventory revamp, PC and console UI layout, and cannibals. Of course, cannibals. Anyways, Blizzard's just dropped a quarterly update for Diablo IV, the first of apparently more planned blog posts from the team. This one focused on two core topics. So yeah, there you go. These are quarterly updates, and they're going to keep us in the loop about the development of the game, which is awesome. It's definitely always a good thing when developers keep up to date with its fans. So anyways, the first chunk deals with specific changes to the UI that Blizzard is making based on BlizzCon demo players' feedback, including more realistic item icons, reorganization of the inventory layout, more flexible mouse and keybinds, excuse me, the position of the action bar on a PC versus console, and controller support for the PC. If we head on over to their quarterly update, so yeah, if you head on over to news.blizzard.com, you can find their quarterly update from their main website, and yeah, they have everything listed out in order, very organized, and they provide pictures. I guess these are the new sort of icons, item icons. You could also take a look at some of the windows from the user interface, and I guess this is what they were talking about in terms of the new UI layout. It's definitely a change up. You can see the health and mana meter, if that's what they call it. I don't exactly remember anymore, but yeah, those two circles are actually on the same side now, or it could have their classic look, it seems like. And what's really cool is that they actually have, it's very sciencey almost, you know, like they have everything laid out in terms of what they want to do to make the UI more efficient for the player experience. And yeah, I think it's really cool that they're doing this. So again, if you want to read more about the nitty-gritty in terms of the Diablo 4 changes that they're making for part 4, I highly recommend. Again, the website is news.blizzard.com, and definitely check out some of the stuff that they are providing. And the next bit of news comes from MMORPG.com, and this is about Astellia. I really hope that this MMO is doing well still. I'm going to do my sort of unscientific research. So again, conducting my non-scientific research, as of right now, Astellia only has 22 viewers, unfortunately. Again, not scientific. This doesn't mean that the game is doing bad, but at least for me, it's sort of the metric or the litmus test that I use to see whether or not the game is, you know, popular or doing well and whatnot. I don't think that's quite unreasonable. Anyways, heading on back over to the article, Astellia Spring Event is now live. Astellia Online Spring Event, dubbed the Spring is Coming, is now live. The event is set to run through March 17th before maintenance takes place that day. The event will occur in the major cities of all the regions of the game. Here's some additional information on how to take part. Accept quests, three types of daily and weekly quests from NPCs. For events in Myville. So yeah, there's a lot of these names I can't pronounce, so I do apologize. Complete the goals for each quest. Finish scenario or legendary dungeon. After completing each quest, complete the event by talking to the event NPCs. So yeah, if this is a game that you have been wanting to go back to or still play, just to let you know, they do have a spring event going on right now. So, and a little bit on more industry news, Facebook acquires Sanzaru Games, and this is brought to you by Gematsu.com. Facebook has acquired Sanzaru Games, the company announced. Sanzaru Games has, and by the way, I'm not sure if I'm even pronouncing that right, so I do apologize if I'm not. But Sanzaru Games has already developed 4 titles on Facebook's Oculus platform in partnership with Oculus Studios, including Ripcoil, VR Sports Challenge, Marvel Powers, United VR, and Asgard's Wrath. Under Facebook's ownership, Sanzaru Games will become a part of Oculus Studios and continue to make virtual reality games as an independently operated studio. So yeah, I thought that might be pretty interesting. I don't know if VR is the future. I know a lot of people are saying that it's just a gimmick and the fad sort of die down, which I can't dispute when you look at sort of the trends that's been going on in gaming. But a lot of people say there's still an untapped market for it. And we have Blizzard that is not Blizzard, Steam, that's coming out with its next Half-Life on VR, which is also a VR exclusive. So I don't know where to really weigh it. Maybe it's a little bit of both, or maybe it will get popular later on down the line. And certainly playing an MMO VR would be really cool. And I know like 1 or 2 are being developed right now. So, and real quick, if you are a Red Dead Online fan, we got some other events going on for you. 100% roll XP boost available in Red Dead Online this week. And also says don't forget Twitch Prime benefits as well. Collector bonuses, discounts, and more await for you in Red Dead Online this week. 100% roll XP boost on any collectible found by collectors is in place this week. An additional 100% roll XP boost for any full collections delivered to Madame Nazar is on offer as well. So yeah, if you this definitely will help you boost up your characters if that's sort of your thing. And continuing on with MMORPG.com, Temtem reveals content roadmap Part 1 for 2020. So again, as I covered earlier before, Temtem actually sold 500,000 copies, and that's early access. So there's definitely a market for sort of a MMORPG Pokemon game out there, but I'm pretty sure you already knew that. But moving on, and notice it says Part 1, so they're probably going to release more roadmap content update later on as the time goes by. But yeah, Temtem has revealed Part 1 of their roadmap, with Part 2 coming later today. Oh, okay, never mind. You just have to wait later today then. So I'll definitely cover that as that information continues. But yeah, the team notes, please keep in mind that every detail discussed here is not 100% confirmed for the game. During the game's development cycle, ideas change constantly, and stuff like today we might not have as much tomorrow. So take everything here not as confirmed facts, but more like the stuff we would like to include in the game. So I know it's really hard to kind of gauge that. There might be some aspects of the game that you're really looking forward to more so than any other aspects of the game. So, but I think it's good to kind of hold your excitement back a little just so that you don't become too disappointed. But they actually list out bullet points, which I really love. They're easy to read, very organized. So they noted that in spring 2020, ranked matchmaking version 1, spectator mode version 1, in-game chat bubbles, club management. So I'm guessing club management is more like their guild management system, and chat bubbles. That's awesome. I love chat bubbles, something that I really wish Star Wars The Old Republic had, but they don't, and definitely awesome for all the role players out there. Summer of 2020, new island Kisiwa, I believe that's how you say it. 25 new Temtems, player housing, climbing gear, emotes version 2, and by fall of 2020, new island Sepanaku. Again, I'm butchering that, I apologize. 25 new islands, 1 mythical Temtem, in-game tournaments, quest diary, and achievements. So that actually seems like a pretty comprehensive list. Again, not set in stone, but if they actually do manage to keep a roadmap that they have here, I think it's really cool. And this, again, this is just half of it. You know, they said they're going to release more later today. So this next bit of news comes from Gematsu.com, and yeah, So the next bit of news comes from Gematsu.com, and it says Square Enix has no plans to release titles exclusively for next gen until somewhat further down the road. That's really interesting. I know within the gaming community there's a hot debate about exclusivity in terms of consumer choice and what that means for us gamers and things like that, but yeah, let's read on. Plus, Final Fantasy VII Remake delayed did not impact development of next installment. That's actually, I never thought of that. It's I know they said they're going to release Final Fantasy VII in three installments, I believe. So I'm glad that they're still on track with that. Anyways, Square Enix does not plan on releasing any titles exclusive to the next generation consoles, such as PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, until somewhat further down the road, and that's in quotes. The company said in an outline of its financial results briefing held on February 5th, published today. The quote is as follows: "Could you share your thinking on development of new titles for current and next generation game consoles going forward?" And they answered by saying the next generation consoles will have a backwards compatibility, so we plan for the time being to make our new titles available for both current and next generation consoles. It will therefore be somewhat further down the road when we release titles exclusively for the next gen consoles. So there you go. Those of you who dislike exclusivities for their console, whether it be PlayStation, Xbox, and even PC for that matter, well, actually, maybe in pertaining to this article, maybe I shouldn't include PCs, but yeah, there you go. At least with Square Enix, you could take your pick, which is always good for the consumer, in my opinion. But I also get why they do exclusivities. I mean, just ask Epic Games, right? Anyways, and then we head on over back to MMORPG.com and. Hero Storm and Update 25 now live in Elder Scrolls Online. So this is for all the Elder Scrolls Online fans out there. Hero Storm and Update 25 are now available in Elder Scrolls Online for PC and Mac, and here's what you need to know. Hero Storm is a dungeon DLC pack containing 2 new dungeons, Ice Reach and Unhallowed Grave. Ice Reach tasks you with figuring the origins of a mysterious storm and stop the witches of the Ice Reach Coven. Unhallowed Grave sees you delving under the sands of the Bankarai and face off against the Necromancers. I probably butchered all those names, and I do apologize if I did. Also containing in the update is the start of a year-long Dark Heart of Skyrim storyline, new rewards including unique achievements and collectibles, all new PvP collectibles, and new performance improvements. Oh, okay, so they upgrade the visuals as well. Again, being a visual snob, that's like one of the first things that I noticed. Plus, if you're an ESO Plus member, Hero Storm is included as part of your subscription. Otherwise, the DLC is available standalone for 1,500 crowns. Yeah, so they got awesome new updates and new dungeons for you guys if that's sort of your thing. So yeah. Now heading on over back to Gematsu.com, Resident Evil 3 Remake demo announced, new previews, gameplay, and screenshots. Capcom will release a demo for Resident Evil 3 Remake, the company announced. More information will be found in the near future. Awesome, I'm definitely gonna have to download that. Additionally, several outlets went live today with new hands-on previews of both Resident Evil 3 and the bundled multiplayer game Resident Evil Resistance. And yeah, if you again head on over to Gematsu.com, they actually list all the websites that actually provide you with the previews, like forgamer.net, Dengeki Online, Eurogamer, Famitsu, yeah, GameSpot, which is really cool. So if this is something that you're really looking forward to, definitely be on the lookout for their announcement of when they will release the demo for Resident Evil 3 Remake. And to all my EVE Online fans out there, and this is brought to you by MMORPG.com, EVE Online brokerage changes coming to March 10th update. In a new dev blog, CCP has announced broker relations for EVE Online. The team begins by citing the principles they keep in mind for the market in the game, mainly to keep intact how closely it mirrors aspects of real-world economies and financial markets. That just completely blew my mind. And what better game to mimic the real world aspects of the economy and financial markets than EVE, because that's such a huge giant sandbox MMO. Anyways, the broker relations update itself will launch on March 10th, and this will include changes to the mechanics for creating and updating orders in the market. In essence, CCP will introduce tick size or a limit on price precision when creating or updating an order. For Upwell structures, they're increasing the minimal broker fee configured by a structure owner from 0% to 1%. This means This means to add an ISK sync. Finally, they're increasing ISK fees charged when you modify an order. This is just beyond me. I have no idea what they're talking about, but it sounds like something very similar to like the stock market and having broker fees and whatnot. So yeah, I apologize. I have no idea what's going on, but just to let you know, if you are a EVE Online fan out there and this is something that interests you, just know that you have more things to relearn, I guess. So I'll only briefly mention this for obvious reasons, maybe more or less, but Lost Ark, new massive 8-player underwater dungeon arrives in Korea. The server, in the Korean servers, excuse me. Smilegate today added the latest content update for Lost Ark, Gate of Paradise, and a new massive underwater dungeon. Gate of Paradise requires 8 players to enter. They will have to conquer 3 smaller inner dungeons with a total of 7 freaking bosses. Their words, 7 freaking bosses. So if you play in the Korean servers, or maybe you play on the Russian server, maybe the Russians will get this soon enough. But yeah, I just wanted to cover this real quick in hopes that we get this here in the West. I certainly would like to, and I know a lot of you guys are looking forward to it, but some of you guys aren't holding your breath. I understand that, but one could only hope that we'll get this here soon too. So, but moving on. We head on over back to MassivelyOpie.com. Ark Survival Evolved Genesis chapter has launched, with the second part coming next winter. So for all my Ark fans out there, says after quite a bit of a delay, Ark Survival Evolved has finally pushed out the first chunk of its Genesis content. Genesis was originally announced last August, the first part meant to release in December. At the very end of January, Studio Wildcard finally admitted it was delaying it until February 25th for polishing and balancing. And yeah, so if this is an update that you were looking forward to, but disappointed at the delay, they're finally rolling out the first part of it today, and so be on the lookout for that if that is something that floats your boat. Now we're heading on back over to MMORPG.com, and real quick, if you are a Conan Exiles fan, let's see, Conan Exiles Test Live patch targets extending the management system's range. The latest Test Live patch for Conan Exiles takes a look at extending their management system's range and more. The patch is a result of player feedback, where in addition to the range extension, the Archer AI bloopers were addressed. Don't know what that is, but it can't be good. The team also added a separate product on Steam just for the Test Live server, so this should make things easier for those looking to take part. So yeah, if this is wow, they actually added a lot. But just know this is I'm guessing that this is their version of the public test server that a lot of MMOs have, but they just call it Test Live. So if you want to help chip in and make the game better by providing your feedback, just to let you know, you got that option as well for, again, all the Conan Exile fans out there. I know I covered this last time about the anniversary of Anthem, the first year anniversary, and how both EA and BioWare were silent about it, and the players kind of made their own anniversary event by providing player-made montages, video montages, and fan art and stuff like that. But it looks like they actually changed that. So Anthem's Ice Tide ends as 1.7 game update arrives. So there's still hope, guys. There's still hope. Yeah, reading on. Remember Anthem? Well, its first anniversary has come and gone, and it seems BioWare are ending their Ice Tide event along with dropping some patch notes. Regarding Ice Tide, the event has come to an end with its conclusion. It looks like BioWare are finally acknowledging the anniversary since its release. And I guess this is a quote for them. 22nd February 2019 was the release date for Anthem, meaning our first anniversary was this past weekend. 1 whole year, and it feels like both a lifetime ago, and as though it went by in a blink of an eye. They continue addressing the anniversary gift for players. To celebrate this occasion, we've released an anniversary gift for all players who log in until March 24th. If you're wondering why the wraps may look familiar, it's because they're actually based on the heroic freelancers who adorned the original Anthem key art that decorated the box for the game, and various promotional art. For more details on this gift, be sure to check out our blog post on it. So yeah, their patch note also includes challenges, rotating weekly meta challenges, rotating monthly meta challenges, store offerings, content and game modes, Cataclysm Conjunctures, Cataclysm Nexus, rotating weekly gameplay modes. Wow, this is actually a pretty comprehensive list. And of course, you got your typical bug fixes and improvements, which a lot of people definitely have been complaining about. From what I've heard, I wouldn't know. I never really played the game. So yeah, it looks like they're finally, again, I don't know if this is a build up to their sort of Anthem Next or Anthem 2.0, as it's unofficially been dubbed by a lot of players. But judging from the things that from this post alone, it definitely looks like the statement that EA made in terms of not abandoning Anthem is actually is believable. In other words, so yeah, if Anthem is one of those games you've been meaning to go back to but disappointed, because I know I've talked to some of you guys and a lot of you feel that you've been sort of betrayed, if you will, for lack of a better word. There are continually improving the game, and also you get a free gift for logging in for their anniversary. So yeah, heading on over back to MMORPG.com to all the Dungeons and Dragons Online fans out there. Neverwinter: Imperial Descent now available on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. The console launch follows the PC launch from earlier. This is in this update, the Dark Orb hovers and pulses in the sky over stronghold of Valinhas. I think that's how you say it. You'll follow the tragic story of Valinhas' family stronghold, which brings a new series of adventures to thwart the ruthless archdevil Zariel's plan to sacrifice hundreds of innocent souls. You'll take up an epic adventure with two new heroes, the Paladin Alric Valharis and the Bard Etrine Sail. Oh my goodness, I can't English today. I'm sorry, guys. Along with old and unexpected allies. So yeah, if this is something that you are a fan of, just know you are getting an update for the console versions as well. So heading on back over to MassivelyOpie.com, we got the New World may consider bringing up Gankbox elements. Talks up its uniqueness, and this is by Bree Royce. Amazon Studios did an interview with IGN. See, I didn't know the original article was IGN, but yeah, this week about New World, that's part puzzler, part eyebrow raiser, part declaration of war. First, remember how a week or two ago, AGS devs were telling folks on the alpha forums that there are no chance the game was reverting to free for all, full loop PvP MMORPG, and could you stop asking and instead focus on feedback for what the game actually is now? That's so long. Yeah, so that doesn't seem to be entirely the case. Game director Scott Lane apparently told IGN there's a chance that some sort of revert, partial or otherwise. We will always consider bringing things back. We are set on launching our alphas and betas this way and seeing what happens. Of course, that comes with caveats. The studio is definitely set on creating an MMORPG where both PvE and PvP players can coexist without excluding people from content. So that may not be enough to stop the riots over PvP. So yeah, let's actually check out IGN. So yeah, the MassivelyOpie article, I guess, was just summing up sort of the key points about the interview that they did with IGN. But yeah, if you actually head on over to the article, it's a very lengthy interview, it seems like, and they explain some of the things in detail, obviously. But yeah, unfortunately, I mean, if I were to read this entire article, that alone would just make the video a little too long, a little too boring. So yeah, if you're interested in some of the updates that are happening to the development of the New World, definitely head on over to ign.com/articles, and you'll be able to pull up sort of the updates for and the news article that is for this game. And to all my TERA fans out there, this is brought to you again by MMORPG.com. This Week in TERA includes a Vanguard bonus and dungeon highlights. This Week in TERA includes reduced adventure coin entry into certain dungeons and more. See, I didn't even know certain dungeons required a coin entry, but anyways, moving on. The following dungeons have reduced adventure coin entry costs with extra rewards upon completion. Gilly something, Akla again something, Ruinous Manor, Gross something Vault. A lot of some things, I know, I get it. I just can't pronounce these. I'm so sorry. But additionally, the all-class leveling event continues until March 3rd. Keep in mind, this is open to all classes, but if you're a Valkyrie, you'll receive a bonus upon hitting level 65. Finally, the weekly Vanguard bonus runs through March 3rd, where you'll have an increased enhancement bonus or points after you completed the Vanguard requests. So yeah, a bit of update for all the TERA fans out there. And for all the Final Fantasy XIV fans out there, we head on over back to MassivelyOpie.com. Final Fantasy XIV brings the Little Ladies Day around once again on March 2nd. Little Ladies Day. Are Are they talking about lollies? I mean, this is a JRPG we're talking. Anyways, okay, moving on. Forget what I said. It's time for another iteration of the Little Ladies Day and Erosia. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm butchering that. Starting on March 2nd, because this is the tradition of Final Fantasy XIV, and even world hopping antics and new patches can't stop the need for flowers and festivals. The story? We have no idea yet. It's just another reminder that this year for Royal Shenshals, I think that's how you say it, probably not, wants to make sure that no little girl goes without a smile on her face. You know, same as every year. Again, it's tradition. Of course, what is different this year are new rewards, which includes a new Eastern stage, a wall-mounted Little Ladies Day banner, and new Princess Peach concierge and essential monocle. I'm sorry. Both of which appear to be gender neutral, so you can mix and match however you wish. And also housing decoration. So yeah, just to let you know, you got another event going on in Final Fantasy XIV. I have no idea what this is about. Again, I'm thinking little ladies, lollies, or maybe I should just leave that alone. Code Vein DLC Frozen Empress launch trailer, and this is brought to you by Gematsu.com. Bandai Namco has released a launch trailer for Code Vein's second major downloadable content, Frozen Empress, which is available for $9.99 as part of the $24.99 season pass. Here's an overview of what is included via our previous coverage. So I'm not going to go over all the little bits of details. Just know, judging from the comprehensive bullet points and list that Gematsu did, it looks like you're actually getting a ton of good stuff. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that if you are into sort of JRPGs or if you're just a fan of Code Vein in general. So of course I gotta cover this because it says Star Wars and we're all Star Wars fans out here, right? If you're not, please leave. No, I'm kidding. No, don't leave. I'm kidding. Please stay. So I know, I believe it was a few weeks ago, there was a bunch of rumors stating that there might be a new Star Wars The Old Republic game, and there might be a remake or just a flat out new one. No one really knew, and this article might shed some light on what's really going on. So reading on, in January, we floated a poll at you about what you would like to see in the next Star Wars game. And it was all because of the Project Luminous, which was rumored to be the next project to overhaul the Star Wars IP a la Marvel IP, with new multi-platform Jedi-centric narrative arc set a few hundred years before the movie timeline. It was supposed to include more than just movies. The first entry was supposed to be a video game, and though we didn't know whether it'd be an MMO, we speculated that we couldn't imagine Disney not going for the overly monetized, always online route in some form of another. That's actually, yeah, I agree with that statement actually. Just think of Battlefront, you know, and anyways, that's neither here nor there. I apologize. Well, last night Disney took the wraps off the project, which looks to be a series of stories set in the High Republic, 200 years before Phantom Menace, with the Jedi at the heart of the conflict, with the Max SK Neil baddies. I don't know what that means. Apparently, I'm not that big of a Star Wars fan. I imagine all the people like, you don't know what that is? You don't know what Max is? I don't know. Maybe it's a spelling error. I don't know. I'm sorry. You might have noticed that not only did I use the word MMO, I couldn't use the word video games. That's because Disney didn't announce one. In fact, Disney didn't really announce anything but comics and books, which doesn't entirely jive with original reports that it'd be multi-platform venture. While rumors persist, some of the conflict, even Polygon points out that there are confusion over whether movies will ever be set in this time period. Guess we'll keep watching. Okay, so it did shed some light, not a whole lot, but either way, it looks like we're getting more Star Wars content out there. And again, as somebody who collects comic books, I'm not too disappointed at that sort of announcement. But yeah, if you head on over to YouTube or even go to MassivelyOpie.com and select this article, it looks like there is a YouTube video about Star Wars The High Republic, just to let you know. So to all my Guild Wars 2 fans out there, we got another article covering the update from MMORPG.com, and it says, Guild Wars 2 update allows players to revert character builds and more, PvP and world versus world also. The update outlines that specific feature thusly. The button can be found on the upper right hand corner of the build tab. In the hero panel, the button will be enabled when players begin to make changes to a build template. Clicking the revert button will also undo all the changes while the window was open. Okay, so you got some things to, it's kind of like, I guess if you're editing on Photoshop or Premiere or whatever you use, and you got that Control Z button, but this one actually is a Control Z for all the changes and stuff. And yeah, it seems like it's a awesome quality of life thing going on. So the update touches on a number of things, including items, structured PvP, world versus world, eternal battlegrounds, Blackline Trading Company, gem store improvements, and more. Here are the PvP and world v world notes specifically. So this actually looks like a pretty comprehensive list. The Call of the Mist effect will be active from February 25th through March 3rd. PvP seasonal achievements have been added under the competitive section of the achievements tab in the hero panel. Mini seasons of varying game modes will now run between regular PvP conquest seasons. World v World, the Call of War effect will be active from February 25th through March 3rd. In general, the following adjustments have been made to the War Claw. War Claw's base endurance has been reduced to from 100 to 50 in World v World only. The War Claw's base health has reduced from just under 11,000 to just under 9,000 in World v World only. So yeah, it looks like they're doing a lot of balancing here for Guild Wars 2. So yeah, if you're a fan, got some changes coming your way as well. Anyways, that wraps up for today's MMO and RPG news roundup. Again, if you stuck with me to this point, I really do appreciate it, because the watch time, another part of the YouTube algorithm, does help. And if you haven't done so already, if you're new to the channel, please consider giving a like and a subscription. It does mean a lot to me. I'm up to 40 subscribers as of today, and I'm really proud of that. I really am, because I'm learning how to fall in love with the process, and being able to produce content like this has been really fun for me. So I hope you guys enjoy it. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys have a blessed night, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.